Woo! Woo! Okay. What are we here with? What are we doing? Other than Motley Crue.
Other than Motley Crue. Somewhere in the middle of New Jersey with a whole bunch of ohms. With some crazy asshole who can't get his shit together.
I mean, you probably could get your shit together. What's the cat's name? Everyone's gonna know.
Phineas.
Phineas.
With a PH. The Phineas.
Phineas. Goodbye, Phineas. He won't care. I scared him with the camera.
Okay.
Anyway, this is Ian. Ian has a problem, I guess is the word.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah, no, he's got all the ohms. And if you don't ohm, you know the ones in my living room are the Walshes. And you know that these don't look anything like the Walshes in my living room. But they are still ohms. Now, you go over everything that's point and make it make sense.
All right, so these are like the original speakers, big box from like the late 70s, maybe early 80s. They have the original 1-inch dome, the original 2-inch mid tweeter, and then they have an upgraded 8-inch original ohm driver from the factory, as well as the passive radiator.
So, I'll explain this. Let's go on this one because it's actually brighter. The light works here. That one is sucks light. That's a tweeter. That's a mid-range, not a port.
Like a mile away from it, yeah.
That's an 8-inch powered driver, and that is passive. And that's the Model H. So that's a 3-way with a front-firing giant 12-inch radiator. And then if we flip around, those are the
C2s.
C2s. Now that's the same exact tweeter,
Yep.
mid-range, and 8-inch or different?
10-inch.
Oh, it's a 10-inch.
Yep.
So an active 10 with a port. A lame old port. Just lame. And you've got two of them in the back on either side. Why?
Well,
Explain to the people who are normal.
because I have a problem.
He's got a problem.
Yeah, they popped up and they were cheap, so I bought them. I wound up getting the refurbished driver, like the woofers from Ohm themselves.
Shut that off.
And
We're going to shut this fan off because I could feel it just being bad. Yeah.
That better? Yeah.
This
We're
is
doing what you said we shouldn't, which is under the fan.
Yeah. Well, I can't get away from the feels of it. So I know it's going to make blowy noises. All right. So he's got a 7.1 receiver in here, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He's also powering it with a Emotiva XPA 4.
Yep.
I mean, it just says 4 there, so that's probably what it is. He's got this really cool peak meter. Actually, put the music back on for a second. We got to impress people.
I'll flip it down on the right. Other one.
Oh, that's power. Hold on.
There you go.
And we're going to put this up to 70. That's too much. Too much excitement. Yeah. All right, pause that again, because copyright infringement is a thing. And he's running everything off of a cassette deck, which he never uses.
Once in a blue moon.
It's real slow to like turn. You can tell us why it's a $100
I see that
one.
the gyro is real slow.
It's like turn or don't turn. Actually, can I steer it? Oh, I can steer it.
Shut the front door.
There you go.
Man,
I can steer this. I don't even know. I've only used this thing for like 12 minutes.
Living large.
Okay, so he's got a cassette deck that he never uses, but it looks super cool. He's got an HP computer down there, because real men only have computers in their listening spaces. An Integra...
It's a DRX3.
I think it's a DRX3, it looks to me, from my analysis, is what it looks like. Yep. He's got a Panamax power conditioner. Right? It's Panamax, right?
Yep.
Audio-Technica turntable.
Boo.
Nothing wrong with an Audio-Technica turntable. Their cartridges are aight. In here are Bear 880s. Up here are M30Xs. Boo. And I convinced him to get a dark... Oh, God.
Oh.
Hold on.
Inverted?
Hold on. Maybe one. I'll figure this thing out. We're learning on this video. I'm reviewing currently the iSteady Pro, which is $100 by Hoham. What the hell? What do you call that? Like that word? Like, is that Hoham?
I think it's Hoham.
Hoham. It's a Ho-hum. It's a Ho-hum thing.
Ho-hum.
So he's got the dark voice, and he's got different tubes in that. So he's got it's a bit of an old school, new school audiophile thing going on here. And he called me up. He's like, well, he didn't call. No one calls.
Not anymore. Especially not you.
No one calls
You
me.
give out your number free to somebody from Ireland? How dare you?
No, that was the guy that was, yeah. That was the, so anyway, we've got these ohms, and he's like, hey, I have these ohms. I look him up, I'm like, what the hell is that? Okay, that's a tweeter. Oh, that's where the mid-range is. That makes it weird. Now, I have the good recorder set up, and I'm also, you're listening to this, or at least you're going to be listening to part of it. Probably not me speaking, but anytime the music's playing, this is the Zoom H4n Pro, which is sitting atop a very expensive, actually, if you calculated the cost of every one of those CDs.
Probably $15-$20 from back in the day, like.
Oh, hell yeah. Back when CDs were worth money, and a tissue box.
And a tissue box.
So we're using that to sort of record what's going on. And it'll either work or won't work because the fact that the tweeters are there and the mid-range is there, and then there's basically, this is the low end, but the real low end comes from the radiator. So it's like a four-way, but it's not. And how much did you buy these for on eBay?
Without shipping, it was $353 was the winning auction bid.
There you go. And shipping was over or under 100?
I think it was $50 from Georgia, yeah.
That's cheap.
And they came well packed. I was surprised.
So anyway, so he's got this set up. Again, I said it was a 7.1 receiver. He's only got it set up as
It's a 5.0.
5.0. There's no sub in the room. Because, I mean, no. His center channel is a weirdo. It's a weird ohm Model E, which is an 8-inch that you rotated the driver, right?
Yep.
So that it would say ohm. But that's where the tweeter is.
Yeah,
it's like way over there.
An old school.
And it's not even like a piezo tweeter. That is just the same, like basically the mid-range that's in those.
Yep, same tweeter. Yep.
It's not even a tweeter. So I've heard it, and I think you could do better for center.
It's good. It's good up to 16,000, but it just doesn't have the air.
No, you could just see it's there. It's because you have a problem, Ian.
That too. Yeah.
Ian's got a problem. If it ain't an ohm, he doesn't want it.
Yeah.
It's like we're gonna go into his dining room at some point. You're gonna see more ohms. He's got the more Walshy ohms out there.
Yeah.
But okay. So put on another track just because it'll get boring if people are just hearing me talk.
I mean, people listen to you sleeping, so I mean.
You don't. I'm not allowed to do that on Twitch. I would totally sleep on stream.
Oh, it's 128. That's not even right.
No, god damn it. 143, 131. Look at these kilobit numbers. They're garbage.
Oh, there you go. Look at that waveform.
Actually, that I'll accept that as long as it isn't touching.
Sean Khalifa, man. This the spot. Yeah. Roster records in this bitch. Yeah. Taylor Gang, Happy Hustle. Dylan No Deal. I'm really affiliated. Yeah. Bitch. And screaming fuck them niggas who hated them.
Yes. So they actually do, like, and I discussed the year with you before we started, and you were like, well, I think they're roughly 79 to 80 or 76 to 80.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, broadest window probably 474 to 82. I don't know. I even contacted Ohm. I asked them about the serial numbers. They told me they couldn't do anything about that.
Like, what the hell do we care?
Production year, yeah. But you know, somewhere in that range of big box speaker when they ruled.
You know, this is like, that's why they look like this.
JBL, all those types of, just those contenders from back in the day, that's what they were working with.
You know, this is like, so the same year for those, or those are different?
Probably, yeah, I mean, probably they're going to be about the same. I think it's about 75 to 82. And then from after that, they moved on to another set called the C3s, which is actually what my old man has. He has 2s and he has C3s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Big brothers. But, we forgot. Those bottom ones. What about the bottom ones?
Oh, aren't they the same?
They are, but remember they're dummied now.
Well, yeah. Oh, I don't. That ruins how crazy you are. So he used to have both of them hooked up. Top and bottom were set up as rear channels, and then he used to run them in 4-channel stereo. And then I sat there, and then I shit on his couch because you can't surround yourself with 4 10-inch and then have these things in the front. And then what's the size of this room? You know the actual dimensions?
Yeah. It's 14 by 12, I think.
It's a tiny room. Like my living room is 15 deep and 18 and a half wide.
And the room I was in previously when I actually originally bought this setup was 11 by 20.
So yeah, you moved into a smaller space, and that's a closet. He's put curtains up. He's put a lot. He's put a lot of sound dampening, like a lot. like a lot. Like you walk into this room and it sounds weird when you walk into it. And if we close the door, then we really will just suffocate to death. But that's fine. Also, drop ceiling, bad for sound.
Bad.
Well,
I mean,
it vibrates if it vibrates. If you don't get vibration, you're okay.
You know, I have to blame you partially because since the last time you were here, spoiler alert, and I got the foam blocks, now
Oh yeah, phone
you
blocks.
cursed me, and now, like you said last time, you're like, you're going to be chasing rattles. And I said, I don't have any rattles. Now I have rattles. When I put Post Malone really loud, I get rattles. So, I mean, I got to take everything off the countertops and just
B-roll, mofos. See? Josh and DMS think they're the only ones that can do B-roll. I can do B-roll. Look, we can go B-roll right up to Afro Man and AC/DC. And underscore Green Day. What the fuck is wrong with you?
blame my girlfriend for that.
Can I just kick the cat instead? I would
no.
never kick the cat.
Look at how cute that cat is.
Look at the cat. Oh, puss face. Do you want to meet the Chewbacca? You're not going to. You probably give her herpes. Okay. Enough about that pussy. Let's talk about some other pussy. In other words, play me a song that has the word pussy in the title.
Oh, yeah, I can, well, G Unit, but I don't know if I can go to that.
Close enough.
Close enough.
Yes.
This song, you know this song?
I don't, but I'm digging it already. Good. Cats are guaranteed like at least another 1,000 views. Just, maybe there'll be a cat, and I got to hold the cat up, take a picture with the ohms. 10,000 views guaranteed. So, why am I here? Just here to show off your shit? What's good about it? Why do you like these more than other things? Why aren't you at Best Buy right now buying like
Klipsch,
Polk?
Polk, Martin Logan, any of the other ones that are like the Bauer Wilkins. I don't know, man. For me, it's like nostalgia. I grew up with these. Like, not these specific models, but the ones I have in the rears and the other.
Yeah, I
Big
didn't know
Brothers.
about Ohm until I walked into a room at the New York Audio Show in 20. I'm gonna say
It's like 16?
15?
15?
2015 or 16, and then I'm like, what the hell are these? And then they're
What are
omnidirectional.
these weird pencil-shaped looking
Which,
things?
let me take these off and we're gonna run through your house like we said we weren't gonna do last time, but we're gonna do that anyway. Because the ones I know
When was the
about.
last time you asked me permission?
Well, I got it last time, so that means I'm good. So these, as you can see, these look more familiar. These look like something that you've seen in my apartment. A little bit shorter, tapered base instead of a straight one.
Yeah, kind of triangular, yeah.
All these, this fucking thing is backwards. But if you take off the hat, and would you mind?
Not at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's my baby. A little dark in here, but you'll live. But yeah, no. So that's standard ohm. That's what I know when you say ohm. Like, oh, the Walshes.
Yep.
So those are the first ones I've ever heard that were non
Directional?
these, that were directional
Okay,
Walshes.
yeah, the omnidirectional.
And he's running again more Emotiva stuff, which I really need to get to reviewing. My I have a 7.1 processor that I bought, and I have not reviewed it. So this is running off a MacBook.
Yep.
An old MacBook. TV mounted here. That. Girlfriend should be able to control it. Get the hell out of the way. That's the one. Look at that.
That's right.
And they use this.
You
That's the
don't
thing.
fuck around with GE, man.
That's not a prop.
That's not for show. No,
Yeah,
I use that.
They use this.
Yeah.
Like he had to. I'm like, why are you plugging in the TV? No, because the plug also works on this. And I'm like, oh, so you have these.
But you know.
But you know,
when we're not feeling fancy with our cocktails.
I mean, I had one of these in my grandmother's house, and I remember I had the speakers attached, and that was I used to set up a
okay.
box for it, and I had speakers in it. So let that be known that Zeos did it first and did it better than everyone. Everyone. And by the way, I love the you have the deadening in the hallway as well. Reasoning for this?
It was extra, and the hallway is super echoey, and even though I have it up, it doesn't really do a whole lot. So.
If you are not from America, what do you think about Budweiser? Talk about it in the comments, because this man has a sign. By the way, I've seen this before. Oh wait, it's in the room. Why do you have two of these?
College. I lived in my girlfriend's apartment, and
Do you hear the echo, the deadness of this room?
difference.
It's just so dead.
Because I like my music loud, so what can I say? But yeah, 2 places at once.
Well, that's not stopping the music from leaving. That's just stopping it from
Luckily,
echoing
my
in here.
neighbors are raised pretty cool, so I can get away with it.
Hey, Ray, you got any pot? just yell that out. All right, put on something else. And I've had to dim the TV a lot because as bad as like the contrast is, like if I cover that, like maybe, like yeah, you got a good picture of what these speakers look like. So yeah, hit me up with something else. Is that a slice of pizza?
That's a slice of the earth, man.
I know, but I thought it was like some cool thing that was like, oh look, it's the liquid outer coat, but it's pizza. Oh, did I never hit record on this? Am I an idiot? I thought it did, right?
Dick right in the streets, it's up to my ankles.
Stop it, never re-recorded.
Keep right in the streets, it's up to my knees.
Oh no. Well, now we'll have this on
Down the
it.
street, the town of Chicago.
If we didn't have the good recorder working before, it's working now.
Follow with me.
Fuck.
You're
It's
about
our
to
doing mostly this anyway.
begin.
Just you and I were next to it. All the interview stuff's coming off this.
Baby, did she throw away? Son,
Light in her hair.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, these are only here for when we did songs. We did like 2 songs.
Yeah.
So
that's
this will
fine.
be fine. Now they'll actually get to hear it in stereo, which is nothing better than the Doors for stereo.
Yeah. You try to stretch it farther than that, and it ruins the originality of it.
Yeah. This is like my microphone. It's like, excuse me, sir. So anyway, we've got cigars and TVs. So now he's started working on a flat collection. When I came here, he was using iTunes, and I was just like, it was iTunes, right?
Yeah.
It was just horrible.
Yeah.
It
That
was
was just
horrible.
a leftover from
I just made him spend $1.50. This is what I do to people. I'm sorry.
teenage years. Yeah, man.
So if
The,
you guys go online and you want to actually look up, see if there's any of these on eBay. Although I'm pretty sure Ian will be real upset if you buy them and he doesn't.
I already lost a pair earlier from North Jersey, and they were a good price.
But you don't need them.
Well,
He's got a problem, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm here to discuss
well, that's partially
problems.
2 reasons why you're here is intervention, I guess, number 1, and number 2 is because of all the things.
Intervention, no, spend more on some things. Certain things you need to spend more on, like a Flirk. He needs a Flirk.
Yeah.
I
yeah,
will link in
Flirk.
the description the link to the Flirk so that Ian can buy it, because of all these controls and everything he's got here, there's volume, and this is how you control the music, and you can't like next stop. But it should be fine if he has his phone out. But even then, your phone, you can have your phone out. If you really want to be using the phone, Flirk is just like boom,
Boom, done.
boom, boom. And then surround sound. Now music, you always listen, you usually listen to it in stereo, or do you go back now to using 4.0?
So usually, that's the thing. Usually I do stereo, but when I want to just like go balls to the wall, I go all channel stereo, or I'll do like Dolby Digital 4-channel.
Well, yeah, I sort of talked him into not doing four.
It was
When I came
it was
in
a-
here
it
the
was a
first
bit
time,
much.
it was 4-channel stereo, everything playing, and these were louder than the fronts.
They're in parallel, yeah.
And they're running parallel, so it was just like he was using all of that Emotiva 4.
Yeah,
amp
which by the
down.
way is a Gen 3 in case they're going to ask. It's a Gen
You're
3.
not gonna ask. These people don't watch this video. Who's watching this video? You know that? Well, it has the
Hey,
black.
man.
It has the black edges, so it's a Gen 3.
Yeah. Well, actually, the trim doesn't matter either way. Switch mode power supply versus toroids. I'm sorry, but I went with that, and it is what it is.
It does. It's hard to judge an amp though on speakers that no
They're-
one's heard since 1981.
Yeah, they're really. I mean, the amp is really flat. The speakers are at least the H's are super flat. I know it seems like not a lot. Like you would think it'd be super.
It's hard
bassy.
to grasp them because of how low down the mid range is.
It's just
Because from here, because usually on a speaker you want everything coming from one spot. That's why Fostex does full range stuff. It's one driver.
the coaxial drivers, man. It's just
Not even the coaxial. Fostex is full range, one driver.
Oh,
A 5
really?
quarter does all the way up to 1 million, and they get a big
Yeah.
ported box.
Yeah.
That, so the fact that you got if it was a 2-way driver and it was just there and there, that would make sense. But it's not just there and there. It's there and there
It's
and
a-
there, and this is included.
It's a 3-way up until a certain dB point, and then it's a 4-way.
It's a very strange. It's one of the stranger speakers, and I'd love to hear it in different rooms too, because this room is too small for them. You
Yes.
got to admit that.
Yep.
That's
especially for the entire setup. Yeah, absolutely.
well, the
I'm
entire
just-
setup is just no,
just ridiculous,
No,
but-
no one does that. That's
But I'm just
that's Ian's problems.
working with what I
Hashtag
got.
Ian's problems. But the rest of this stuff, I think though, like what room you had before, 11 by 20.
Yeah.
And I put them on the long wall.
I did. Yep.
Yeah, you have them on the long wall.
Yep.
Because here, the main problem is they're not mirrored. If you didn't notice, my OCD is kicking on. Tweeter on the left, and then you go to the other side of the room. Tweeter on the left, and it's like, no, stop. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? And the reason they did that is because, well, it's just how they built them. They weren't going to build
Back
a left
then.
and a right.
Yeah.
They just did that way.
Yep.
So that means this tweeter is very far from that wall, and that lady with the nipples. Atmosphere nipples. And then this tweeter over here is literally touching this wall. It's like a hand's length apart, which is why he's got the foam here. He might need more. You might need to back this with something else and then the foam.
Yoga mat.
Yoga mat, or even moving those blue moving mats.
Oh, the blue blankets.
The blue blankets,
Yeah,
fold
the
one in
double
half, double layer, just like all the way to the ground.
That was my first choice for the mirrored closets, but that are now behind these
yes. There's
because that's 1970s back there. Don't mirrors are Zeos' not friend.
mirrors, vampires and shit. But yeah, that would have been bad. That's automatic bad for sound is like a hard surface.
Oh, that's
in
the
back.
worst. Yeah.
So at least he's got those of us. Yeah. So I would. The problem with the current setup is this is a corner. You can't do anything else
in this
the
room.
corner.
Everything is a corner. It's
Yeah, and then the door comes in, which if you notice, I have the recorder slightly off center, because that's further over than that can be unless that, we discussed this last time, let's discuss it now, where you have it so that there's a system when the door opens, it pushes the speaker up on ramps.
I forgot about that.
We forgot, we haven't started engineering this, because the only way to make, like, look at the TV, you got the whole thing, and over here it's like, oh, it's not a thing. So OCD Zeos would have had it so that when this door closes, the speaker would slide down into place. And then when someone comes in, they would push it and it would slowly push it up.
It's a cable system.
Yeah, no, it would be great. It would be fantastic. I would come back and do another video when that happens. That's the sort of OCD that I like. I don't care how old your speakers are. I want to see you made a speaker that slides up when the door opens.
And you say, I'm the one with the problem.
People can't know about that. People can't know about how bad I'm broken. All right, it's been 22 minutes. What else are we talking about? Let's play another song now that we've actually got the recorder running. Ooh, hold on.
Hello?
It's got a problem.
Oh shit, nigga.
Just realized that says
What
Ian.
time is it, man?
Why?
Well, it's because it's my primary input. You already called me a narcissist for what? Having my own number in my phone so I can
Yes.
myself.
Well,
Instead of downloading a notes app, I can just use my own text messages.
What the fuck's going on?
what input is that, Ian? I don't want to talk about that
You
input.
alright?
Let's not talk about that input. All right.
Fucking tell. It don't make sense going to heaven
You
with
can't
the
do
good.
much longer than that because it'll just
Hold.
just jump through songs, keep it under 30 seconds.
Ah, not Slayer.
Oh God.
And you might know me from such films as I Can't Sing, but neither can you.
Don't look at me. Don't talk to me.
Oh, you rap too?
I should have known. I can tell. Nah, it's in your eyes.
Just cause you're an MC doesn't mean that you get to be an asshole. Just cause you're a man doesn't mean you get to act like a bitch. Like a bitch. Stand over here, do a favor, use your head to hold this apple. And I'm a 20 race cake, aiming shots, swear to God I won't miss. I won't miss. See, I've been around
So like
the world.
63 is like perfect for making those work. I would build my whole system around that being perfect, and then that's it. That's it. Just want those. You should get a camera pointed at that, and then have a big television screen that just displays them. Right? You follow me? You follow me, internet? You put this in a box in a corner somewhere. Perfect. So where's the next track? Is it this right arrow?
Yep.
And Daily Troll. Well, get on over to Blitz and Chits!
Blitz and Chits!
What's in shits?
Blitz and Chits!
It's the audio from a Rick and Morty episode. I told you my meta is totally screwed up. Black ALA.
But here's the thing, that's in FLAC, but it's a terrible recording.
Well, it's 40 ounces to freedom. I got it off the.
Yeah, but it's
my
a
CD.
live recording?
No, that's 40 ounces to freedom. Yeah. Maybe that's how Sublime did it. It's like you're talking 1990.
Well, that's the thing. No, that's the thing. You can have the
1992.
highest DSD, DXD fucking holographic rip. If they recorded it
And
like
crap. Well, I know.
if
I'm
they
well
recorded
aware
it
of-
while high and no one was paying attention, then that's just what
yeah,
you
yeah.
got.
Well, that's how mastering works, and they were, 1992. They're all just stoned out.
They were just turned out. All right, so I'm gonna come back at some point and check up on Ian and his sickness, and you guys can all check out that. I don't know what's happening here.
That's also atmosphere. Yeah.
What's your problems, man? I'm Zeos. That's Ian.
I figured I'd drag him into it because I saw his video on Ohm Walsh, the best speakers ever, and I said this guy is too close. I think anyway, from where I am to. Nobody's seen these speakers before, and
Yeah, no one's seen them. And the thing is,
they still service them. They still make these are new drivers. It's just the old
yeah,
box.
Ohm literally replaced all the drivers on these, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like you're gonna get them on eBay and then you're fucked. You get them on
no,
eBay
and then you upgrade them. Yeah.
And so you got them for less than $3.
Yeah.
You mind disclosing how much it was to fully upgrade all the drivers in them?
They came that way. I got lucky.
Oh, you got them already done.
Somebody on eBay either.
Do you know what it would have cost you if you had to go to Ohm?
I can go to the website Ohm Speaker Legacy Parts, and they itemize everything.
Really?
Right there.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So
I
that-
rebuilt the C2s, and those were $300 to get rebuilt. They actually redid. That's the original.
Those are the originals and those are the rebuilds at the
on-
bottom?
So no, they're both rebuilt. Ohm rebuilt these. They doped the speaker, kept the basket and the magnet structure, and just redid the cone. Those on the bottom, those are the replacement polycone woofers from Ohm, direct from Ohm. So they're like a little bit of a mismatched pair, but they still work.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I wasn't complaining when I was shitting my pants on this couch back here. Right there.
Yeah, well, it's too much bass anyway. That's why.
It was a little bit much, but you calmed it down now. You
Yes.
calmed. You start.
Yeah.
I'm weaning him off of. Let's see, 4 10s and 2 8s.
And 2
And the
12s.
12s, the 12s count as their passives. I mean, look, my living room, I have my subwoofers are 2 10s with 2 passive 10s each. So I've got 6 10s moving around, and they're on 500 watts channel. So it's like fuck. But I have a bigger room, so it's allowed.
Yeah.
I'm paid to do this. You're not paid to do this. You're paying someone else to do this. That's your problem. You gotta put a DJ booth in here, and you gotta put a dance floor, and you keep the cat, because that's atmosphere right there. Why don't you name the cat Atmosphere? Everything else is named Atmosphere.
That's not a bad idea.
It's a great idea. I'm charging for that too. Anyway, so Ian and I are sweaty to death because this heat works really well, and I think we're gonna do one more song, and you want to actually pick a song? Like what's the go out song? Just to know that these speakers exist and that you can look them up. You can buy these on eBay.
Craigslist, anywhere secondhand.
Craigslist, secondhand. Does Ohm? You did say that Ohm sells them still, don't they?
They do from time to time come through the factory in Brooklyn, and they will put them back up. They do have one pair of the C2s that I have on top here that have the rebuilt woofer system. They look just like the photo on their website. They only have one pair of those available right now. They are
You
selling.
also refinish these, like you actually like put
Yeah,
tongue oil.
Scott's Liquid Gold.
Scott's Liquid Gold.
Yep.
So is that, I know it's hard to see.
It's got a
with
nice
low light,
patina on it, but
it's really like you could tell that they're not. Oh, these are from 2013. No,
That's
no.
real walnut veneer on the front.
Ohm still makes beautiful speakers, and you could get their old ones.
The rosewood is just amazing. That's something else.
All right,
So.
hit me up with the track.